how the time flies, we glide so imperfectly. Right, try to be the best that I could be and try to build a nest so I could sleep safely, finally get some rest. I lost my breath when I fell from the sky. The birds that gave wings to wind that never dies, leave a legacy. Be a better me, free the enemy, and try to let it be. With all of me that's on a beat, it's honesty that's on repeat. It's all a G and EMC that's gonna be a murder of crows. I murder these flows like I throw a curveball right at the flight that I chose. But I'ma fly straight and migrate. This time makes the migraines in my brain so fly planes could glide under my weight. And I keep high with the mind to be on this flight till I see my dad again and I'm free. Free as a bird. Free as a bird. Free as the bird. Free as the bird. Free as the birds.
I wonder if I'd ever feel it again, the getting lost in the music like it was more than a friend. When the studio was next to the bed and the melody was playing with my heart beating stuck in my head. The cassette player battery's dead. Pump the pedals on the bicycle, the rhythm and that. Up on the telephone wires with the starlings and the streetcar tracks. I never thought I'd be making music in Halifax with the rhythm of a rebel. The attitude never changes. Never won the rebel over ordinary stasis. Place cards set at the table to say graces. Gormandize a memory making me miss faces. Turn around and look at myself for changes. Metropolis votary, really I'm rearranging. Head in the clouds and I'm wondering where the day went. Time flying by and I've got nothing but patience. Free as the birds. 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 Free as the birds.
We so perfectly rough. We know we can get stuck. We are so vulnerable to broken wings and leaving. But me, myself, and I will try to be the one to rise above. I can't even understand when they act like wings, but not enough.
Now, I got a little creature living in a little hole inside of my stomach and it wants me to panic and fold. Learning to love all of the heavy things I hold. It's unforgiving but liberating to bear the load. Bees working too hard, bears losing their homes. Now the birds let me see how everything grows. This isn't getting any easier. I don't wanna be a member of the greedier. I'm a bar stool full with armchair politics. So much loss it's hard to focus on the positives. Take my temperature, there's something wrong with the thermometer. Get me off this road, I've forgotten how long it is. The higher I can go, the farther I can get away. I hope my feathers stick together for another day. Words lift off the paper, travel to center stage. But I'm still feeling the cold, there is no other way. I'm free as the birds. 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 I'm free as the birds.
You know I'm free, at least trying to be. Mine like the birds, no the worms don't see. I'm far from the dirt, but the earth is still me. I'm a whole lot of water, just a little salty. Pale like the moon, still I shine like the sun. I'm hot, then I'm cold, still the same conundrum. I'm God, then I'm Satan, then I'm human all in one. Said I fall, I get up, then I walk and then I run. Fly like I'm high, man, I'm over the summit. I try to right, I try to wrong, I got it stuck in my stomach. I hear this music in my head, still a struggle to hum it. I see the world and its hate, still I'm humbled to love it. I see my faith and my pride in the side of this hell. A lot of y'all won't, guess a lot of y'all will. And I'll be up high doing circles in the sky. I'm free like the birds, guess you wanna know why. Free as the birds. 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 I'm free as the birds.
We so perfectly rough. We know we can get stuck. We are so vulnerable to broken Amazing how the time flies, we glide so imperfectly. I try to be the best that I could be and try to build a nest so I could sleep safely, finally get some rest. I lost my breath when I fell from the sky. The birds that gave wings to wind that never dies, leave a legacy. Be a better me, free the enemy, and try to let it be. With all of me that's on a beat, it's honesty that's on repeat. Anthology and EMC that's gonna be a murder of crows. I murder these flows like I throw a curveball right at the flight that I chose. But I'ma fly straight and migrate. This time makes the migraines in my brain so fly planes could glide under my weight. And I keep high with the mind to be on this flight till I see my dad again and I'm free. Free as a bird. Free as a bird. Free as the bird. Free as the bird. Free as the birds.
I wonder if I'd ever feel it again, the getting lost in the music like it was more than a friend. When the studio was next to the bed and the melody was playing with my heart beating stuck in my head. The cassette player battery's dead. Pump the pedals on the bicycle, the rhythm in that. Up on the telephone wires with the starlings and the streetcar tracks. I never thought I'd be making music in Halifax with the rhythm of a rebel. The attitude never changes. Never won the revel over ordinary stasis. Place cards set at the table to say graces. Gormandize a memory making me miss faces. Turn around and look at myself for changes. Metropolis votary, really I'm rearranging. Head in the clouds and I'm wondering where the day went. Time flying by and I've got nothing but patience. Free as the birds. 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 Free as the birds.
We so perfectly rough. We know we can get stuck. We are so vulnerable to broken wings and leaving. But me, myself, and I will try to be the one to rise above. I can't even understand when they act like wings, but not enough.
Now, I got a little creature living in a little hole inside of my stomach and it wants me to panic and fold. Learning to love all of the heavy things I hold. It's unforgiving but liberating to bear the load. Bees working too hard, bears losing their homes. Now the birds let me see how everything grows. This isn't getting any easier. I don't want to be a member of the greedier. I'm a bar stool fool with armchair politics. So much loss it's hard to focus on the positives. Take my temperature, there's something wrong with the thermometer. Get me off this road, I've forgotten how long it is. The higher I can go, the farther I can get away. I hope my feathers stick together for another day. Words lift off the paper, travel to center stage. But I'm still feeling the cold, there is no other way. I'm free as the birds. 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 I'm free as the birds.
You know I'm free, at least trying to be. Mine like the birds, no the worms don't see. I'm far from the dirt, but the earth is still me. I'm a whole lot of water, just a little salty. Pale like the moon, still I shine like the sun. I'm hot, then I'm cold, still the same conundrum. I'm God, then I'm Satan, then I'm human all in one. Said I fall, I get up, then I walk and then I run. Fly like I'm high, man, I'm over the summit. I try to right, I try to wrong, I got it stuck in my stomach. I hear this music in my head, still a struggle to hum it. I see the world and its hate, still I'm humbled to love it. I see my faith and my pride in the side of this hell. A lot of y'all won't, guess a lot of y'all will. And I'll be up high doing circles in the sky. I'm free like the birds, guess you wanna know why. Free as the birds. Free as the birds. Free as the birds. Free as the birds. I'm free as the birds. I'm free as the birds.
We so perfectly rough. We know we can get stuck. We are so vulnerable to broken wings and leaving. But me, myself, and I will try to be the one to rise above. I can't even understand when they act like wings were not enough. Amazing how the time flies, we glide so imperfectly. I try to be the best that I can be and try to build a nest so I could sleep safely, finally get some rest. I lost my breath when I fell from the sky. The birds that gave wings to wind that never dies, leave a legacy. Be a better me, free the enemy, and try to let it be. With all of me that's on a beat, it's honesty that's on repeat. It all a G and EMC that's gonna be a murder of crows. I murder these flows like I throw a curveball right at the flight that I chose. But I'ma fly straight and migrate. This time makes the migraines in my brain so fly planes could glide under my weight. And I keep high with the mind to be on this flight till I see my dad again and I'm free. Free as a bird. Free as a bird. Free as the bird. Free as the bird. Free as the birds.
I'd ever feel it again, the getting lost in the music like it was more than a friend. When the studio was next to the bed and the melody was playing with my heart beating stuck in my head. The cassette player battery's dead. Pump the pedals on the bicycle, the rhythm in that. Up on the telephone wires with the starlings and the streetcar tracks. I never thought I'd be making music in Halifax with the rhythm of a rebel. The attitude never changes. Never won the rebel over ordinary stasis. Place cards set at the table to say graces. Gormandize a memory making me miss faces. Turn around and look at myself for changes. Metropolis votary, really I'm rearranging. Head in the clouds and I'm wondering where the day went. Time flying by and I've got nothing but patience. Free as the birds. 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 Free as the birds.
We so perfectly rough. We know we can get stuck. We are so vulnerable to broken wings and leaving. But me, myself, and I will try to be the one to rise above. I can't even understand when they act like wings, but not enough.
Now, I got a little creature living in a little hole inside of my stomach and it wants me to panic and fold. Learning to love all of the heavy things I hold. It's unforgiving but liberating to bear the load. Bees working too hard, bears losing their homes. Now the birds let me see how everything grows. This isn't getting any easier. I don't want to be a member of the greedier. I'm a bar stool fool with armchair politics. So much loss it's hard to focus on the positives. Take my temperature, there's something wrong with the thermometer. Get me off this road, I've forgotten how long it is. The higher I can go, the farther I can get away. I hope my feathers stick together for another day. Words lift off the paper, travel to center stage. But I'm still feeling the cold, there is no other way. I'm free as the birds. 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 I'm free as the birds.
You know I'm free, at least trying to be. Mine like the birds, no the worms don't see. I'm far from the dirt, but the earth is still me. I'm a whole lot of water, just a little salty. Pale like the moon, still I shine like the sun. I'm hot, then I'm cold, still the same conundrum. I'm God, then I'm singing, then I'm human all in one. Said I fall, I get up, then I walk and then I run. Fly like I'm high, man, I'm over the summit. I try to right, I try to wrong, I got it stuck in my stomach. I hear this music in my head, still a struggle to hum it. I see the world and its hate, still I'm humbled to love it. I see my faith and my pride in the side of this hell. A lot of y'all won't, guess a lot of y'all will. And I'll be up high doing circles in the sky. I'm free like the birds, guess you wanna know why. Free as the birds. 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 I'm free as the birds.
We so perfectly rough. We know we can get stuck. We are so vulnerable to broken wings and leaving. But me, myself, and I will try to be the one to rise above. I can't even understand when they act like wings were not enough.
Welcome to another episode of Chef Ivan Chan MasterClass podcast. This is the fifth one, and we are going to be interviewing one of my good friend. I consider her one of the sweetest person in the industry, and if you haven't had her any of her food, you're lost. But let's bring in Amy and share her about with everybody about her story. There you go. Hey, Amy, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me today.
I know you just went to a wedding, so she's maybe a little tired and still kind of do this with me. But let's start a drink.
Okay.
Guess first. What are you drinking?
Well, as you mentioned that I went for the wedding, so I'm a little bit hurting today. So I have lots of water here, lots of water. But I haven't tried this one, but I got ginger.
Local. Oh, my!
Yes.
I should be ashamed of myself. I'm not having local today.
No, no, that's okay. It's a blueberry cider, so it's really good.
Well, I just want to have a little Chinese beer,
Yeah.
Qingdao.
I love Tsingtao, by the way.
Oh, it's nice and
Yes.
light,
Sorry, I already
and
opened it little.
but cheers. Thank you for joining me
Cheers.
tonight.
Thank you for having me tonight. This
It's
is
always
amazing.
great to see you. But
Good to see you.
okay, we get for a drink. So let's hear Chef Amy's stories. The drink is through, and can you share with everybody about who inspired you about your love for cooking?
The love of cooking. Well, I was born and raised in Japan. I'm obviously I'm from Japan. Um,
Everybody should see the flag there. This is this is the new things I do on this stream. Like this is my fifth one. I'm adding feature. I mean, you look at the background. The background is actually one of one of Amy's restaurant. If you have not sit on one of those that four chairs, like I said, people, you guys are missing out.
so yeah, yeah, I was from Japan, and my grandfather was owning a restaurant. But he already closed before I was born. But he had a like eel restaurant, just specialty for eel and the
Mm,
Japanese food. So it's always like, yeah, yeah, just like only eel, and then like some other side of stuff. But that was the main things. And then I think that's pretty common in Japan.
mm.
But so it's always about the food at home. Like, I mean, I guess it's all of us maybe, but like it's always food. And my mom was amazing cook. I was living with my grandmother, and my grandmother was diabetic. So we were so careful with the food and stuff. So we didn't go out so much, but always. So I would say inspired definitely by whole family, but especially like my mom, it's always cooking, like cooking for us. So that's
Mm.
kind of started to cooking, and I was into more baking first, but then I
Oh,
could switch to started cooking more myself. And yeah, so that's kind of, I guess that's the start. Yeah, mother.
mother. Wow,
Yeah,
it's always the family cooking that inspires.
always, always.
Those are always the food that always in your memories. Like most
Hmm.
of the chefs, is kind of like, you know what? I remember grandma made that. Can
Yeah,
I
yeah,
replicate that?
absolutely.
I still, every time I have my sweet and sour, like I still think about my grandmother all the time. With just that
Hmm.
flavor and that the jars you have always when you
Hmm.
open the fridge
Hmm.
doors, always there. Those are those memories that I live with,
Hmm.
which I
Hmm.
think every person who's passionate about cooking should have that in their blood.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
is, I don't know, that's personally what I believe in. But anyway, so what brought you to Halifax?
Yeah, this question is like I answered so many times because why in Halifax? But
Eric? Oh no, I'm sorry.
um, so I came here back in 1998.
Hmm.
I came here from States, like I went to school in States. Anyways, my sister, got married with her husband now. That he is a professor and he was a researcher back then. So he
Okay.
came to Halifax. Both of them, like my sister, got married with him. He moved to Halifax as researcher and
Okay.
works at the Dalhousie.
Oh.
So they were living here before me, and I was in States. I was in California before that, and finishing school, whatever. I was gonna go home, go back to Japan, but I wanted to kind of come to visit my sister in Canada, but I not known anything about Canada, and they were living in Halifax. I'm like, okay, Halifax, but I came just to visit her here, and we have like a visa, like exchange visa, like a working holiday visa
Okay.
between Canada and Japan. I think in
Mm-hmm.
several like country you can get like 1 year permission, like a working permission,
Mm-hmm.
working permit. So I got the 1 year working permit in Canada, and then just came visit my sister. And then I was gonna travel to like Toronto, Vancouver, travel for a year, and I was gonna go back to Japan. But came Halifax, and I got a job 1 week after, and then I just stay here. So that's
It's
the beginning.
amazing.
Yeah.
She got a job 5 days after she arrived
Pretty much, yeah,
Halifax.
yeah. I arrived here, and then my sister is like, "So, do you need a job?" I'm like, "Yes."
You know what?
Yeah,
It's destiny.
yeah.
That's what I believe. It's kind of like a movie thing, but that fate is really important, especially for what we do. It's you just have to have faith on everything you do. I just like how your story happened. I think I'm gonna bring out a little, I would say, touchy topics.
Mhm.
You have passion about cooking. You found your first job in Halifax in a Japanese restaurant,
Mhm.
but you weren't allowed to cook because you were a female. Do you mind to share us about that
No, not
little
at all,
side
not at
story?
all, not at all. See, I would say more like I think we were allowed to cook. Like we are allowed to cook at the kitchen at the restaurant, but I was suggested to not be on the front to making
Mm-hmm.
sushi.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I got a job here, I was actually hired as a waitress. I was a waitress for quite a while
Mm-hmm.
for the beginning of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was really interested to be like cooking. So I kind of asked my boss to like, wait, can I work at the kitchen instead of doing
Yeah.
waitressing? And then, but that's how I started cooking. But I didn't go straight to the sushi because even in my mind, I'm like, I'm a woman. I don't think I should be a main like a front
Mm-hmm.
person. So I didn't really even thinking about that becoming sushi chef back then.
Mm-hmm.
Really not. Like it's just that's how I actually I guess it's culture wise, like we grew up that way maybe. That a sushi chef and a woman doesn't really
Connect.
connect.
Yeah.
So I didn't even thinking about it. I didn't think that was offensive up until like I became a sushi chef. So like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I guess women shouldn't be on the front. Yeah.
It, it's a lot of old school culture thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
I remember when I first start my professional job in a Chinese restaurant. Of course, I have a lot of skill set that I grew up with that I don't really use it. And
Mhm.
the first 3 months, I was too scared to even get close to the wok because I wasn't allowed. I know
Mhm.
how to use a wok, but I wasn't allowed to even come close to it. Until there was one gentleman who was like, "You talk about cooking all the time. Why don't you go and stand in front of the wok and see what you're capable of?"
Mhm.
And I loved that. That moment started. I just loved that heat. I just loved that burning on my face. Sometimes is sitting in that torch all this time, and it's weird. Like it's why you love cooking is almost like a weird thing, like especially commercially, right? It's almost like you want to torture yourself. you know, Sometimes I look at myself like after like 3 hours in front of that wall, my face like burning
But
red, and I'm still going. Let's go. Let's pump out more food, and I don't know. It's just that passion and love that you can
yeah,
never
yeah.
deny.
It feels good like when you do it. Like just like I don't know, like even sweat and everything. It just like feels good. So yeah.
Talk about the first time we met. I was being
Uh
sleeky.
at the kids, yes, because I knew you before you came and visit at the
You didn't
kitchen first.
recognize me when I was sleeking in there, though.
Well, tell me, I'll tell you, I recognized you. I
Oh, you
just
did?
didn't want to say anything because
Oh,
you know what? But because I just never been like a very, like, I wasn't very confident. Like I've never
mm,
had that kind of confidence to say like, hey, I know you, Chef Ivan. You know what I mean? Because I was already nervous enough to serving people. Like, like
I never knew you recognized me
I
that
yeah,
day
yeah,
until
yeah.
now.
I no, and I think I said I told Gary actually that
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. After that, like your
Uh,
brother came in. Um, no, but I just didn't want it to like bother anything. Like I don't
I
want to say
was,
like.
I'd rather go in the place quiet.
Hmm.
And that's why I was kind of tilted to the side. I don't know if you
Hmm.
remember, I was on the chair on the far right.
I totally remember you on the corner, like at the
I was
hiding
like,
spot there.
I was
I
like,
do remember.
don't spot me. And I was watching you like a hawk. Like it just, you were so laser focused. Anybody seen me cook? No, I'm a different person as soon as I'm in the kitchen cooking
Hmm.
food.
Hmm.
And you have that look, that fire in your eye, that all those order coming
Hmm.
in, and you and Eric was going at it. I was like,
Hmm.
my God, this is impressive. And no matter how many stuff was in front of you, you always look at every dish and make sure all those garnish and all those shoots that you were on was
Hmm.
was laid out right. For a little restaurant like that, it just caught me like, wow,
Hmm. Hmm.
this is talk about passion. Like
Hmm.
it just caught me right there, and then that's when I start talking to you after you kind of ease off a little bit. I was like, my sister have been eating here, and then you say, oh, I know who
Hmm.
you are. But that's
Yeah.
after we had all our food too. So
Hmm. Hmm.
it's what you and Eric did there. I think it's almost like a Cinderella story.
Hmm.
Everybody should recognize in a set of how many sweat and tears
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
two, like what 5 foot of space you guys were standing
The
on.
smallest,
Yeah,
smallest
and
spot.
and the way you were pumping food out of that air fryer,
Hmm.
like wrapping sushi, and how precise you still want every little thing on
Hmm.
such a small scale menu. But for your space, that's a pretty huge menu
Hmm.
with the
Hmm.
space you have to work on with.
Hmm.
No, like you sold me right there. Like just is that fire? Like like that. There is so many. Okay, I'm gonna offend some people now. There's a lot of pretty boys out there, right? Like they'll go in the kitchen, do this,
Hmm.
direct this, and no, they there is I there's two type of chefs, right? There is your paper chefs, and there's your working chefs. I'm proud to say I'm one of the working chefs.
Hmm.
I want my chef jacket to be filthy dirty at the end of the service because I done work, right? Like I don't care the flour, whatever, oil all over my jacket, but
Hmm.
this is what I do.
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
is what I love. And you show me that the first moment I met you and Eric and how you two work together a lot of time without even talking. like I
No.
see Eric running around like making the curry and you're doing sushi. And I remember
Mhm.
I still can see that in my eye. Like you two work so well together.
Mhm.
All I
Mhm.
do is two human beings keep spinning in that tiny 5 foot, 6 foot wide kitchen,
Mhm.
and you
Mhm.
guys were pumping out food like, and everything was spot on. It's so special. I mean,
Mhm.
really,
Thank
really so
you.
special.
I appreciate that.
And I've been talking about Eric. Can we
Mhm.
can we talk about Eric a little bit? Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
everybody, if you go back to the stream and look at the 15 minutes on the pre-stream, we've been playing one of Eric's songs 3 times there before we start. It's such a beautiful piece of music, and he is the should I say the other half of Chef
Yeah,
Amy here.
absolutely. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't want to
Mhm.
be, insinuate anything, but but talk about Eric. Where did you meet him anyway? I never really asked this kind of questions.
Okay, well, I this is another my story of my life. I was working at the restaurant, but I took a few years off from the restaurant. I was like just needed to take time off. I mean, off from the whole thing. But I was running a tattoo shop for a few years,
Hmm.
and with my friend actually, like not didn't even own, like we were doing together.
Hmm.
And one of the co-worker, one of the owner, is a best friend of Eric. And
Oh,
Eric has a whole tattoo.
yeah.
He used to be a client, so he used to come into the shop. That was back in like 2005, I think. So we
Uh-huh.
met back in 2005, but he was coming a lot too. So I we became a friend, and
Maybe he just spotted someone there too. That's why he kept going there.
well, I don't know, but
I don't
so we
know.
didn't
I
study.
gotta ask him next time I see him.
Please, yes. Um, so yeah, we didn't study like dating or dating kind of, until 2012. So like we were friends like 7 years before that. And yeah, we
Mm.
just kind of one day, like we just kind of go, let's. I got the message and he said, like, let's go have a coffee. Let's go have a coffee always. And have a
It's
coffee.
always that coffee, right?
Always. So I was like, let's have a coffee. And next time, let's have a beer. So yeah, I went for the coffee with him,
It's
and that's the
always
beginning.
how it start.
That's how I started. How we started. Yeah,
Hmm. But
yeah,
you guys work so well together, though. Like I
yeah.
still talking about Kasuni. Like, look at it,
Mm-hmm.
you two working together. It's
Mm-hmm.
but you know what? I'm the same way. Well, not my wife, thank God. With Virginia, we're the same way, right? Like we
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just we just go, and most
Mm-hmm.
chef friend come and look at our kitchen and be like, my God, you two work like 5, 6 person.
Yeah, yeah,
So you and Eric are the same way.
yeah. And we never know because like it wasn't his field. Like
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like when we decided to open culinary, he kind of quit his job and then jumped onto adventure with me. So we had no idea how that works. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Didn't
I'm gonna
argue
play his music in
anything.
the background a little bit.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we never fought. We never had to argue. Like because we needed each other. That
Mm.
that little spot. So I think we just find that the best person to work with, and it's happened to be him, like, and my life partner as well. So which is a really rare case. I was super lucky. I was a lucky one for sure. Yeah.
Wow, it's I don't know. I really think it's Eric's a lucky one.
Well, that because I always think like, well, I only make sushi. That's it. Everything else he does. He takes the phone orders. He talks to the customers. He sub to the customers. Who does the dishes? Like all other stuff. I'm just making sushi. That's it. You
Oh my
know.
God, Amy is talking about me. I'm just cooking food. I don't do anything else in the kitchen too. My wife take care of everything.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I didn't have to thinking about anything. Like, and he's the nicest person in the whole world. So he was
He's
just, I don't know, just like naturally, he's just so giving to
mm,
everyone, and he's so good with everything. Like even like cleaning and like groceries and all that stuff. He's just so
He's just a
good.
hard worker.
So
You can
hard
tell he's
worker.
such a
Oh
hard
my
worker.
goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
And I needed that, and I am the one of those people as well that if I have a job, I do my best. I do 100%. I put 100% on me.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not gonna, you know, I'm just gonna get little, I'm not kind of like that. So that was a lucky part of it. Like we didn't know until we started. Yeah. So it turned into really, really well.
Just do a little. Go back and do a little brief about your journey in Halifax. You started at Daima for what? 15 years you were there, something like that. I forget. It was
So I
like
started in '98, and I took over. I took over Dharma 2014.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
from the
almost
original
15 years.
Yeah.
And then you took over.
yeah.
And then things doesn't go your way. I mean, it's
Well, I loved it. That was my home for a long time, and that was the place that I learned sushi. And my mentor, mentor chef was awesome. He was a kindest person too. So I was lucky to get to learn from him. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. I did it
That's
for
the whole
3
thing.
years, and then I was just like, I can't create more anymore. I'm just kind of trying to finish the day. That's it. And I was working 6 days, of course. So it's
but
really just
Yamamoto-san, I start eating at his restaurant probably 92,
Yeah.
93 when I first came here. He it's kind of funny. When I first came here, there was only 2 decent Japanese restaurants in Halifax. It was Daima and Liji. Liji was in Maritime Mall. That was a bigger one, and Daima was a smaller one. That was the only 2 Japanese restaurants I would eat at. And Daima is, when I was in school, that was my lunch spot. Especially the special Wednesday afternoon. I'm always there to have that rice bowl.
yeah, that's a chirashi bowl. Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
just came. Yeah.
Yeah, that Wednesday lunch special. I'm there
that's my
like
favorite
every
too.
week with my ex-girlfriend. Then don't talk about it. My wife may be watching, but that was my lunch spot every week, and he makes some amazing food. And he's the same way. But he's so I don't really haven't worked with him or anything. But he seems like he's such a calm gentleman.
He is. Yeah. He is. I'm glad that I can talk about him a little bit because I'm not here without him. So he taught me everything, and he didn't actually. It's okay. Long story short, I think
We
the
have time.
people-
We have time. Take your time.
So I get judged by more like other Japanese people, Japanese customer, Japanese
Yep.
people who lives here, judged me more than my boss Yamamoto-san. He didn't have any filter towards to me. Like didn't have any like. He taught me everything. Like he didn't mind it. He didn't judge me. He didn't. But other people for sure. So he was almost like protecting me from it. That's why I was like freely could ask a lot of questions to him and learning. And then I had a great experience at the kitchen with him. But also at the same time, I shouldn't be at the front either. So,
Yep.
it was a little, still tradition, So it was a very interesting, but also same time, he is definitely, one of the
He seems to be a
calmest,
really nice
very
and calm person,
soft. Yeah.
and he's so poised. Like those lunch rush was not easy to deal with. And one of the biggest memory for me from that place back in those days was at the far end. You always have someone to making the queso there
Yes,
with
yes.
those pans. I was like, man, I need to learn how to make this. Until Amy taught me a couple of years ago.
Yes,
And
I did.
it's one of my favorite thing to eat because that was one of the first thing I was introduced to when I was in Hong Kong.
Oh.
So where I used to live, like we in a big area, that's was one of the first, I would say, more casual dining Japanese restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
and they sell a lot of queso. It's just memories, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then here, oh my God, I'm sick to my stomach. Every time you have the cutlet there, without sitting on salt, give you a fried rice, a bunch of salad there, just drive me crazy because it's not a queso dough,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things I don't think that's right or wrong, but that's something that bothers me in a way is I know Asian food have been a popular things to do, but at least please try to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are gonna hate hear me saying this, but you can do Asian food is fine. Like the sky the limit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
when you try to presume and sell that you're doing real Asian
Mm-hmm.
food, don't do it half-ass,
Yeah. Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Right? I think we talk about this, then those are the stuff that bother chef like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
play with your stuff, fusion, whatever you want, but don't go around and tell people that you know Asian food or whatever,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I may not come out to say it, but on the other hand, it bothered the hells out of me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't know. It's almost like if you want to do that, maybe do a little study and spend a little work to it rather than disrespect my culture.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
how I feel
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in a bad way.
definitely.
But
Yeah.
it's no limit. There's no right or wrong. But those are the kind of stuff that bother people like you and me because
Mm-hmm.
we grew up with the traditional culture. We grew up in a culture that we really don't have much opportunity to really learn or experience it.
Mm-hmm.
And we fight, and try to get to what we are capable of today.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I want is people turn around and say, oh, I do Chinese food. Oh, this way. Nope. Just, do it your way, but play it right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and if you want to mix sweet and sour, stop getting those freaking Bordeaux stuff. Make it right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's the only thing that kind of bothers me in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, there's no right or wrong, like I said. But
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But
so, and then
totally
after
like
Daima, and then Kasuni. I mean, we talked about Kasuni already. Like it was just a wonderful Cinderella story that everybody, if you
mm-hmm.
miss out trying her place, then you're lost. Seriously. And it's that vibe in that 10, 12 foot area.
Mm-hmm.
The quality of the food that you put out, you and Eric put out, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
is uncomparable
Yeah.
to any other place I've been to in Halifax. I
Yeah.
don't care what anyone say. It's okay to have a nice fancy restaurant to have 8 to 9
Mm-hmm.
people in there. Everybody do one thing. Of course, you can make it nice and fancy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but when you have people like you and me, we are a pair of hands,
Yeah.
and we need to put out quality food, and we care.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as easy as people think.
Yeah.
And no, I mean, and then of course after the pandemic, Eric took another job, and I think you transitioned into something that you always wanted, Amy. I don't know.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really think what you're doing fit your personality, really fit your bill. Um, I don't know. I'm just guessing is the kind of lifestyle that you like, and rather than in a crazy restaurant setting
Mhm.
that people keep coming in and won't leave you alone, and you just enjoy every moment of
Yeah.
it, making your own, right?
Yeah. Well, believe or not, like we both, like trust me, we both miss it so much. Miss kitchener a
Mm-hmm.
lot for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we had to make that kind of decision back then. We were tired. We were just
Yeah,
everyone kind of like lost in
it's
the
not
point.
easy.
Like no, and I think if we could keep going, like we could definitely. That's no problem. But we really wanted to kind of reset our life because we were just go 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 go,
Yeah.
and like okay, well, this is a chance to reset, and we did it. And then we always make a decision kind of like that for the life as well,
Mm-hmm.
like what's the best for us, like even though like but we're really happy that we kind of take a break and then stop in the high note, that
Mm-hmm.
like okay, we did it, like we've done this much and let's just take a break. So we had to do it, but also we really really miss it so much, and so much like
Well,
I miss working together, like just we just miss working together.
I have a lot of collabs planned this year.
Mhm. Mhm.
We've been talking about it for a few years. I think we should try to do one in the fall.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
We need to work on that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I
Yes.
already have couple ideas that this just that you and me can work together and build with.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's so it make me so happy right now because we have our next tasting menu
Mhm.
on the 19th and 20th of July. I talked to Sanya yesterday from
Mhm.
Honeybee. I will be doing one at Honeybee at Yarmouth,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
August 28th. I am doing one with Lauren in September.
Oh, cool. Wow. Okay.
We should do one probably maybe October or
Yeah.
November together.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
I'm into that right now. I just want to play. I just want to play. We
Yeah.
always talk about cook together,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think it's gonna be fun. I
That I
really don't
think
care
so
how
too.
many people want to come. I think well they should, but I think we way past that 3 years of suffering,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
and it's time to enjoy what we love
Mhm.
and try to
Mhm.
play with some cooking.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
let's plan that in the
I
fall.
think that's a great idea. Thank
Yeah,
you.
like
That's
we
gonna be
can.
very, yeah,
Yeah,
very
well,
exciting.
I think I have all the equipment you need at my place.
Mhm.
Well, hey, my kitchen is a little bigger than yours. It may not be too much bigger, but it'll be enough space. Like we used to work in tight space
Well, I'm so
anyway.
used to working in a small kitchen, so I guess that's
Yeah,
fine. At least they have like this little space that I can do it.
and I want you to tell everybody why you use the name Lone Wolf.
Because I'm doing everything myself. That's it. Everything.
It's so fitting.
Be two and now one. So I had to
Uh,
put the name on it because it just I wasn't planning to do with anyone else. If I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna do by myself. If I'm gonna do it with someone else, that has to be Eric. So I have that in mind. I'm like I'm a lone wolf now, so that's why
it's
I
so
put the lone
fitting.
wolf.
Like,
Yeah.
but people doesn't realize or know how to appreciate anyone who cook by themselves. Trust me.
It's
I
mhm,
I know, like, what's been happening to me in the past month, or what, two and a
mhm.
half months,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
never, never been that hard
Oh my god.
of preparing, like, especially my kind of food. Imagine I'm peeling a Peking duck when something's going on a walk, something in deep fryer. I have like three equipment going at the same
Yeah,
time, and
yeah,
I'm running around the
yeah,
kitchen.
yeah.
It's insane.
Exactly. It
Like,
is. It is.
it's you constantly want to catch up your breath. You
Mhm.
constantly want to pick up your body, and you know what? Let's go. Like
Yeah.
you just have to keep myself going, and you know, and no, a lot of people need to appreciate people like yourself is really providing a lot for the
Mhm.
community, and that's why everybody love you. Like I'm not just saying it. Like you are one of the sweetest person in the industry in my book, and I always say I'm the same way. What you see is what you get. I have nothing to hide. You like it, or you don't. Too bad, so sad. Is the last thing I want to do is, and that's why I can never work front. That's why I white work front, because I'm gonna, you know how it is in the industry. I'm gonna tell the customer that's the door if you don't like my food. But you get people argue about our culture all the time,
Oh,
and that's what's crazy.
in
Right?
interesting way, yeah. Well, pretty surprised me. Like I'm like, yeah, it's happened. It really does happen.
Imagine I was told a couple of weeks ago my fried rice too dry. You saw that post? I was like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
mind-boggling. Like
Oh
so
my.
so many Asian chefs spend their whole life try to make sure
Make
you don't burn it with the
exactly.
most minimum
Mm-hmm.
oil so it doesn't get greasy, doesn't have puddle oil at the bottom. I get it to a fine art, but no, now it's too dry. You
Mm-hmm.
just cannot win, right? It's rough. It's really
Yeah,
rough.
yeah, yeah. It is, and I mean, like I have so many experience like that too. That the customers like told me like this is not right. I'm like, well, it is.
Exactly.
You know, this is
That's
what it.
that's the
Yeah.
issues that
Mm-hmm.
people come to chef like you and me. I mean, hey, you know what? You can tell me it's not for you, but don't tell me I don't done it right, right? And that's the thing. Like, hey, everyone have different
It's a big difference.
palates,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? Like, it's okay, but on the other hand, like you tell me I don't cook food right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can take that.
Yeah. No. No.
Right?
No.
It's insulting
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's
Definitely.
really difficult.
But it's not that doesn't have to like it. Yeah, doesn't have to like
Nope.
it. But don't tell me it's wrong because yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have to like the food. I always
No,
said there
no.
is 100 different Chinese food in Halifax.
Mm-hmm.
People come to me for a reason,
Yeah, yeah.
right? People goes to Amy for a reason because your food represent you.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I have your food, I can feel the passions. I can feel every
Yeah.
little sweat and tears you put in every little piece of sushi that you roll. I know is from your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't get it because those franchise restaurants, which I'm guilty. I used to be a franchise chef, but there is no passion and there's not soul in
No.
those food. It's an assembly line. Oh well, you know what? If I ever look for a job, I will never get hired now. Listen to this, but you know, but it's such a different environment
Mm-hmm.
and different feeling of food that you provide with certain type of customer. And back to I say, hey, it's never right or wrong, but some people do a certain thing for a
Mm-hmm.
reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know you love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I love everything, no matter how hard it is for what I do. To me, is the biggest enjoyment is not even the money, is when you see somebody like actually appreciate your work and your
Mm-hmm.
food.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing for people like us is yeah, it's a job, but on the other hand, you know what? I do it I do more than just feeding and make your stomach full.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's it's nurturing your soul and your joy for having tasty, good tasting food is what matters
Mm-hmm.
to me. And a lot of people doesn't understand what real chefs is all about. And and I consider you a good friend and one of the very rare chefs that want to do the food with the passions rather than, oh wow, you know what, just eat your food and get out, pay me the money. Nope.
Yeah.
I you know what? If I want to do that, I'll go back and work for franchise. I don't need to go through what I go through
Yeah.
with building my
No.
name and
No.
improve constantly on what I do every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like people tell me, "Oh, Ivan, you don't need to improve." People don't even know you improve. Even my sous chef, Virginia, tell me all the time. 99% of the customer which not even recognize all those tiny little things you want to improve and you're losing sleep over. But does it mean I'll stop?
No.
Nope,
No.
I ain't stopping. But that's what I
No.
do. I'm a,
Yeah.
I'm a bird with no feet. Just need to keep flying. And that's why Eric's song really
The
touched me.
bird. Yeah.
It's,
No.
it's, it's about being the bird that you keep going and you do not feel tired. You just keep going to almost satisfy your crave about cooking and feeding people's soul and
Yeah.
nourishing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And people who doesn't love cooking doesn't get it.
No.
And that's
Yeah.
a main thing, right? So well, let's go to the. I don't want Amy get too emotional now. So let's see. One of the topic I ask every guest cannot use me as an answer.
Okay.
A chef that you want to work and do a dinner with locally.
Like cooking together. Well, since I started Lone Wolf, I did some pop up with a different restaurant, like
Yeah.
a few different restaurants, and it doesn't have to like I did a collab or I just pop up, just did a sushi as well. It's been great. It's so amazing experience. Like just
It's learning.
learning. It's so much learning, and then and going to some other people's like kitchen, like you just go in and have to make your room and then be comfortable. Like it's challenging, but it's been amazing. So I was thinking this question. I've been thinking about it a lot. Like who I wanted to. Of course, I was like, Ivan. Yes. I couldn't get the particular name came out, but it would have been pretty interesting to do with other Japanese chef, maybe. Because I know pretty much all the Japanese chef or Japanese restaurant, but I never worked with.
Wow. That is only a few with Japanese chef in Halifax. You can count it with one hand. So
So that would be pretty interesting. That's kind of like, because I've been consistently thinking about like, let's just do the pop up with other people or anything. Like then like, oh, I never thought of including other Japanese people. So it would be might be a fun idea to do with other Japanese chef.
how many Japanese chefs in Halifax right now?
Oh, okay. 1, 2. Well, I can name it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's a Doraku, Kodoraku, Tokyo
Doraku, yeah.
Roll, Dama Sushi, Shige. That's all Japanese chef and Japanese owned. So that's. I think I'm not missing anyone else. I don't think so.
You
Yeah.
can count it with one hand. like you said.
Yeah. And me, I'm doing it. So like 6 different establishment is Japanese owned, and
I would
I-
love
yeah.
to see you do it with Suge.
Shige. Yeah.
It's-
Might happen. I don't know.
His work is so defined.
Oh my God.
It
Yes.
is so fine, like the stuff that and I mean it's kind of sucks to say. I betrayed you once.
Oh please, it's
I went there.
amazing restaurant there. So
He is
I would-
amazing.
Oh my God, he is.
And-
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I actually went, and Virginia went, and we both say the food impress us. And impress me with Japanese food is pretty hard to do. His food was impressive. If I can,
Amazing.
if I can make a
Amazing chef.
call like with his finesse, with your creativities, I think it's gonna be like a perfect combination.
Yeah.
I will be the first one sign up for it if you two are doing a pop up together.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's like, that is a pipe dream for me there. Like you and him, my God, like
So that's kind of like, I was really like, yeah, that would have been kind of interesting. Like, might not happen, but it's just like, because I don't know, like, it's kind of, it's a different restaurant, different perspective, different way
It
to do it,
is.
but we make
It's
same
really
food.
different.
And sushi is like, probably fishes come from same places, like we have a same supplier. Some of them are different, but it's really simple things like sushi, like.
It's not
But
simple.
then, so it's really like, maybe it's gonna be interesting to just do that together,
I'll bring up one of my experience recently. Other than your food, in the past, I would say 5+ years. Of course, I always love your food because I can just feel how good your food is. And, being there, saw you in actions, and it just touched me. And of course, that gentleman there, I went there that one time with my wife. It was impressive. But I was in Toronto a couple months ago. I went to Chef Antonio Park's restaurant, brand new AP at downtown Toronto, 51 floor, oversee the whole Toronto night scene. I really think those Yamasuke he was making at that restaurant was nothing short of phenomenal. Even my wife, who is a sushi lover, and after I had the first piece, I was losing my mind how good it is. And Sandra had the first bite, and I was like, she was, didn't know like that. The wife, hun, that is the way it's supposed to be. It was spectacular. But of course, like, with the high-end yamakase and what you guys are doing is a little different. But that is a lifetime experience that I experienced at AP, which want to spoil that I will be doing a show with Antonio Park's sister on July 17 with Sonia, and we'll talk about the Korean food and all that. But that's pretty much the two good sushi experience that I remember, other than, and of course, sitting at Kasuni, looking at you cook. And those are memories. Those are memories. Like, that Amy in front of me keep going at it, and then Eric with the pot of curry.
The fun in rice.
Those just memories that meant so much in my head, just because the passions and the fire I see in both of you guys, and it just, money cannot buy those moments.
No.
It just cannot. It's not something money can buy. It just, it's just fun and enjoyable, right?
Yeah, definitely. That was a definitely fun 5 years, I think. Yeah, it was a great time that I'd be never gonna forget.
Trust me, every time I crave sushi, I've been like, oh, can I call Amy? No, she's probably all booked. I have been thinking about it. I was like, I don't want to do this to you because I know if I message you, you'll make it for me.
Oh yeah,
But I was like,
of course.
but I won't do that to you. All those last minute things, right?
Well, Ivan, that's why I'm called lone wolf. I'm doing myself, so I'll be
Well,
very
still, I
flexible.
don't, I
You
don't
know,
wanna,
that's the thing. It's
I don't
like
wanna throw you off your schedule either,
no,
right? That's
no, no,
another
no,
thing I
no. I
hate to
think
do.
interesting enough that I started feeling like I think I'm not doing enough. I can do more. Like I started feeling
Uh-oh, you have
like
no
oh
idea what you just got
God,
yourself
oh did I
into.
just say that? Yes. No, but like I never thought of it. I was gonna say that too, but it's really like oh I think I'm a little hungry to do more. So, I might have a lot of it in my
Okay.
head right now that maybe I might have a next step. Who knows? Like, I'm keep consistently thinking about it. Like,
Good. Good.
always improving, like, always more.
So that fire is burning. You want to push
Fire
yourself.
definitely started
The
burning
fire is
more.
burning.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love to hear
Especially
that.
like after I got back from Japan, I
Hmm.
went home and came back. I'm just like, I'm feeling so good. Like,
I
I
love
think I
Japan.
can see the little future.
If you haven't been there, guys, cleanest country you can ever go to.
Oh my god, that was a
Even
good
the
trip.
air, like, oh my God. Last time I was there, it was like, oh, everything's so clean. The air, people are respectful, and it's just that Japanese culture.
Hmm.
A lot of people doesn't realize how
So
amazing that is.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great place, such a great country. And then it was just such a lovely visit, my family. So that was
It's
really
great to
nice.
have you here too.
Yeah.
So when
Again, I'm lucky again. I have two homes. So
it's funny, and there is, I cannot name who, but
mhm,
there is a sushi place close by my house that sometimes you want a quick bite,
mhm,
just whole
mhm.
family go there, and my daughter have been telling me, please don't go there again. I'm serious. She's like, Dad, can we not eat there when you
Yeah.
when you want Japanese food? I said, don't worry, I won't go there. And that's why I've been thinking I need to give Amy a call because I need her to eat Japanese food again.
Call me.
Like she have been refused to go to those places close by home now.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I guess she's spoiled so much too because
Mhm. It's good.
I've been telling her what's supposed to be, how it's
Mhm.
supposed to be, and she's spoiled rotten, and but I want to train her the way my father trained me since I was a kid.
Mhm.
My
Mhm.
father trained me the same
Definitely.
way,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't want her
And
to cook, but on the other hand, like want her to learn to know what is good and what's not good about food. Definitely, right?
yeah, yeah, go, yeah, definitely. That's important.
Hmm.
The food, that's what we need. Yeah.
So anyway,
Hmm.
so anything else you like to share with the audience about what is your next plan? I guess you spoiled it a little bit, saying you
Well,
want to do more, but
I don't have a set mind yet, but I feel
hmm
like this is just not the end yet. That
restaurant,
it's
restaurant,
not.
restaurant, restaurant. Please tell
You know
me
what? It's
restaurant.
very funny enough that like I last month also maybe I paid more attention or what, but like I got more attention by like like even I went to the wedding that was in New Brunswick, the
Hmm.
one of the attendant like, oh my god, you're from Kitsune. Like you guys are from Kitsune. Like we're so sad that when you guys are closed. Like that's after
Oh,
2 years.
something
Two
just
after
went
two
through my
years.
head, Amy. I don't open Monday, Tuesday. Those could be Kitsune Day.
Hmm. There's something to thinking about it. Like
We
I
can
think
talk
I'm
about it,
definitely. Well, I mean, just I think I'm missing to have like it's amazing right now. I have opportunity for the kitchen.
but will Eric oppose it?
Mm, you know, there's we can
I
kind of.
Trust me, I would not have a problem if you and Eric say, "Hey, you know what? Twice a month, I want to use your restaurant.
Mhm.
Be my guest."
Mm, 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 mm.
All those Kitsune fans, listen up. I am trying, guys. I am trying. Maybe just run a dinner service or something.
Well, that's very nice to talk about, I guess. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
possibility.
Yeah.
I would definitely do it for you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, and but we need to get into details. But
Oh, for
maybe
sure, for sure.
maybe twice a month you
That
want to
that
use
would
the
be
dining room,
very,
you want to use
yeah.
the kitchen. Why not?
Why not? Oh my God, that would be really
Yeah.
okay. Okay, we're gonna talk
As
about.
soon as long as I can come to eat free.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna be the
I'm just
customer.
kidding. But
Well, I might need help, But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I would not able to make those beautiful sushi. I don't. I would never dare.
oh,
I don't
this
think
is
so.
so. If I can say something that this is so amazing that I feel like I was so disconnected with a lot of people just because being like
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of hiding and making food now, like not at the storefront or have a
Mm-hmm.
restaurant, and I have not much like a connect with other people because
Okay.
again, like I'm all by myself. So this is such an eye opening again for me to just reconnect with the people as well. That's why I'm trying to push him a pop up for the last
All right.
while. Yeah.
I know we never run it through Eric, but if you guys want to maybe once a month, twice a month, want to use my place,
That would be fun.
I'll do it. I'll do it for you, Amy. I would.
Okay, I'll build
All right.
definitely. You just said that. I
Yeah.
said sure.
No. That's something definitely we need to talk about.
Okay,
I really need.
definitely.
I want Kitsune again. And no, we can definitely work something out. I
Yeah,
mean, but you're gonna need staff. There's 40 seat in there.
I know. I know. Yeah, it
There's
would
40
be.
seat in there.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
so that's something you need to think
See,
about.
this is amazing again. That like, oh, okay, I'm gonna use my brain. Like, I'm gonna. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
hey, doesn't have to do it tomorrow, but I would definitely exercise that option if
sure.
that's what you want to do.
Yeah, yeah, that
All
would
right.
be super fun.
All
Okay.
right, sound good. So, okay, I think mission accomplished. She says she will think about a restaurant again. At least I have a place to go when I want to eat Japanese food now.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
next week we are gonna have Bob from Subaru Mountain. He's a general manager of Subaru Mountain, Jaguar, and Land Rover. Very busy person. He is. I think Bob have cooking passion, like passion and a half. He just love cooking. So we will be talking to Bob next week, and to show everybody what he loves and how busy he is, and a big time executive that he still think about cooking every single day. And no, Amy, thanks for having you tonight. Thanks for doing
Thank
this with
you.
me.
Thank
Really happy to talk to you again.
Yeah, nice to see you and then nice to catch up with you too. So thank you for having
It's
me.
it's a wonderful night. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
at I don't know. I may message you say Amy, and I may some sushi fix next week.
Anytime, like seriously, anytime. Like just
Trust
message me.
me. I told you what happened to me last Tuesday.
Yes. So just I'm waiting for you to message me for sure.
But no, thanks, Amy.
Yeah.
Good
Thank you
to have
so
you
much.
tonight,
Thank
and
you.
get back to me with if you really want to play and with the collabs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And everybody have a
Let's
good
talk.
night. I'll see you guys next week.
Thank
And I'm gonna
you.
run Eric's song one
Oh,
more
that's
time.
Yeah. It's amazing Amazing how the time flies, we glide so imperfectly. Right, try to be the best that I can be and try to build a nest so I could sleep safely, finally get some rest. I lost my breath when I fell from the sky. The birds that gave wings to wind that never dies, leave a legacy. Be a better me, free the enemy, and try to let it be. With all of me that's on a beat, it's honesty that's on repeat. Anthology and EMC that's gonna be a murder of crows. I murder these flows like I throw a curveball right at the flight that I chose. But I'ma fly straight and migrate. This time makes the migraines in my brain so fly planes could glide under my weight. And I keep high with the mind to be on this flight till I see my dad again and I'm free. Free as a bird. Free as a bird. Free as the bird. Free as the bird. Free as the birds.
I wonder if I'd ever feel it again. The getting lost in the music like it was more than a friend. When the studio was next to the bed and the melody was playing with my heart beating stuck in my head. The cassette player battery's dead. Pump the pedals on the bicycle, the rhythm in that. Up on the telephone wires with the starlings and the streetcar tracks. I never thought I'd be making music in Halifax with the rhythm of a rebel. The attitude never changes. Never won the rebel over ordinary stasis. Place cards set at the table to say graces. Gormandize a memory making me miss faces. Turn around and look at myself for changes. Metropolis votary, really I rearrange it. Head in the clouds and I'm wondering where the day went. Time flying by and I've got nothing but patience. Free as the birds. 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 Free as the birds.
We so perfectly rough. We know we can get stuck. We are so vulnerable to broken wings and leaving. But me, myself, and I will try to be the one to rise above. I can't even understand when they act like wings, but not enough.
Now, I got a little creature living in a little hole inside of my stomach and it wants me to panic and fold. Learning to love all of the heavy things I hold. It's unforgiving but liberating to bear the load. Bees working too hard, bears losing their homes. Now the birds let me see how everything grows. This isn't getting any easier. I don't want to be a member of the greedier. I'm a bar stool fool with armchair politics. So much loss it's hard to focus on the positives. Take my temperature, there's something wrong with the thermometer. Get me off this road, I've forgotten how long it is. The higher I can go, the farther I can get away. I hope my feathers stick together for another day. Words lift off the paper, travel to center stage. But I'm still feeling the cold, there is no other way. I'm free as the birds. 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 I'm free as the birds.
You know I'm free, at least trying to be. Mine like the birds, no the worms don't see. I'm far from the dirt, but the earth is still me. I'm a whole lot of water, just a little salty. Pale like the moon, still I shine like the sun. I'm hot, then I'm cold, still the same conundrum. I'm God, then I'm Satan, then I'm human all in one. Said I fall, I get up, then I walk and then I run. Fly like I'm high, man, I'm over the summit. I try to right, I try to wrong, I got it stuck in my stomach. I hear this music in my head, still a struggle to hum it. I see the world and its hate, still I'm humbled to love it. I see my faith and my pride in the side of this hell. A lot of y'all won't, guess a lot of y'all will. And I'll be up high doing circles in the sky. I'm free like the birds, guess you wanna know why. Free as the birds. Free as the birds. Free as the birds. Free as the birds. I'm free as the birds. I'm free as the birds.
We so perfectly rough. We know we can get stuck. We are so vulnerable to broken wings and leaving. But me, myself, and I will try to be the one to rise above. I can't even